Hello viewers. In my previous videos about the upper limb, I have talked about brachial plexus and the three intermuscular spaces. Brachial plexus is responsible for both sensory and motor function. Today we will discuss how sensation from the skin of the upper limb is perceived. It's a small topic but often difficult to remember, and sometimes it's even ignored by students. We will encounter in today's video words like dermatomes, cutaneous fields, and peripheral nerves. It shall be my endeavor to simplify them to make it easy enough for you to remember and utilize during your exams or tests. In honor of the bench I always preferred sitting in during classes, let's start from the back, or in more anatomically familiar words, posterior aspect of the upper limb. So we can see on the screen different parts of the back of the upper limb. They are shaded in different colors, indicating the different nerves that are responsible for perceiving cutaneous sensation, that is skin sensation, from different parts of the back of the upper limb. We have the supraclavicular nerve at the top of the screen. Supraclavicular nerve is not a branch of the brachial plexus, it is in fact a branch of the cervical plexus. Just below the supraclavicular nerve, we have the axillary nerve, which is a branch of the posterior cord of the brachial plexus. Axillary nerve seems to be responsible for cutaneous sensation from the lateral or outer aspect of the arm. Arm, as you know, is the part from the shoulder to the elbow. The inner or medial aspect of the arm has the intercostobrachial nerve and medial cutaneous nerve of arm. Intercostobrachial nerve is a branch of second intercostal nerve, and it is also not a part of the brachial plexus. Medial cutaneous nerve of arm, on the other hand, is a branch of the medial cord of the brachial plexus. Medial cutaneous nerve of forearm, lying just below medial cutaneous nerve of arm, is also a branch of the medial cord of the brachial plexus. This is responsible for perception of cutaneous sensation from the medial aspect of forearm or the antebrachium. Medial aspect is more closer to the midline of the human body. Speaking of antebrachium, dorsal antebrachium cutaneous nerve, a branch of radial nerve, is responsible for perception of skin sensation in the back of the forearm as shown in the picture on your screen. Lateral cutaneous nerve of forearm, a branch of musculocutaneous nerve, is responsible for perception of cutaneous sensation from the lateral aspect or the outer aspect of the back of the forearm. Now we are only left with the hand, and hand alone has three different peripheral nerves responsible for cutaneous sensation. Ulnar nerve is responsible for skin sensation perception from the medial aspect of the hand, starting from the medial half of the ring finger or the fourth digit. Median nerve on the posterior aspect is responsible for perception of cutaneous sensation only from the distal part of the lateral 3 and the lateral half of distal phalanx of fourth digit. Radial nerve is therefore responsible for perception of cutaneous sensation from the remaining parts of the back of the hand. So when they say, I know you at the back of the hand, I hope you know the nervous supply of the back of the hand as well. Interestingly, the fourth digit or the ring finger receives innervation from all three nerves, ulnar, median and radial nerve, as shown in the picture. Now let's look at the front of the upper limb or the anterior aspect of the upper limb. Again, we start from the supraclavicular nerve followed by medial cutaneous nerve of arm. Here also we see the upper lateral cutaneous nerve of arm, which is a branch of axillary nerve, and lower lateral cutaneous nerve of arm, which is a branch of radial nerve. So just like the introductions of any royal family member, as long as we remember the lineage or the branching with the location of occurrence of the branching, we will be able to figure out which part of the body might be adversely affected if a lesion is present anywhere in the neural pathway. So know the name of the monarch, but also know who is the father of the monarch, when did the branching occur, or when was the monarch born. You get the analogy, right? So that was the arm. In the forearm, we only have two nerves responsible for perception of skin sensation: lateral cutaneous nerve of forearm and medial cutaneous nerve of forearm. Both of these nerves have been discussed a little bit earlier in this very video. Hand once again has triple nerve supply, with a small part of the lateral aspect of the hand getting innervation from the radial nerve. Median nerve takes care of the lateral aspect of the hand, including the lateral half of the fourth digit or the ring finger, whereas ulnar nerve innervation starts from the medial half of the fourth digit and is responsible for the rest of the medial aspect of the hand. So all these areas shown here are cutaneous fields, or in other words, parts of the skin innervated by a single peripheral nerve. Now let's look at dermatomes of the upper limb. Dermatome is defined as an area of skin corresponding to a single spinal root. It can be innervated by multiple peripheral nerves. On your screen you can see how dermatomes start with C4, remember C4 not C5, on the outer or lateral aspect, changes to C5, then to C6 below, then moves medially to become C7, then C8 and moves back upwards to become T1 and T2. Same thing on the posterior aspect as well. If you find this confusing, just remember the aphorism, neurons do not float in outer space. They need to be carried to a particular location via nerves. So in the case of a dermatome, neurons from one particular spinal root can be carried by multiple peripheral nerves, while in case of cutaneous fields, it's just a part of the skin innervated by a single nerve, like medial half of fourth digit is innervated by ulnar nerve only. Ulnar nerve itself carries both C8 and T1 spinal roots. I hope you found this video helpful. In my next anatomy for MRCS Part A video, I will talk about myotomes. Till then, take care, goodbye, and please don't forget to be awesome.